I'm going to assume that everyone that's clicked on this video is a beginner. If you're not, go and watch my other videos. If you are, stay around to the end and focus, because you need to learn some stuff. And you should be passionate about this. I don't want anyone that's not passionate about music or is interested in music. But this song is coming out. This is my song. I produced it and I did the lyrics to it. I'm not going to show you the lyrics, but I'm going to walk you through how I made it from the start, what I think about when I make music. So this is what it sounds like. So that's basically what it sounds like the whole way through. But anyway, I started with this. First of all, you need to have good sound selection. If you don't know what sound selection is, it's basically finding sounds to go well together or sounds that sound good, so it doesn't sound shit when it's all together. But you're going to need VSTs or packs, and all those will be on my Discord. Some of them you have to pay for, most of them you don't, but yeah, so I got Serum. It's a VST, a plugin. It's used for sound design and stuff. But anyway, regardless, I found this pack on Reddit. You can find that. Just search this on Reddit, and it has some pretty good yeet hyper pop sounds. But this is what it sounds like. I think I started off with it down here. But I didn't like that, so I pitched it up, and you know, it has to be all in the same key. If you can't hear when it's in the same key, or the right key, you can go into this little arrow up here, and then you need to go to scale highlighting, and then I usually work in minor. You can do major, and there's all these types of ones, but choose the key that you're going to be in, and then these white notes here tell you what key you're supposed to be in. I'm not in the key that I made it in, so ignore that. But so I found like what sounded good. I needed a sort of an intro sound, so I was like, you know, it's in my head. I'm thinking about it, and then I started writing it down, played around with it a bit until it sounded like a cinematic. I go for more of a cinematic feel than a pop feel in my songs. I don't know if that's just me, but I'd say what you need to be thinking about is the key and what sounds good. What notes come after what. That's all you need to be thinking about. And once you get this one bass line down, the rest of it flows so much easier. So if you make sure you work on the first sound a lot, then you'll get somewhere. So I added that. And then the next thing I added was this. Okay, and it started off just as this. But I changed it because it didn't have enough variety. If you hear these together, I do use it over here, but mainly I use this version. But together it sounds like this. So this is the main sound, really. This one here, because you can hear that the most prominent. This is sort of in the background. And the end, that's all the mixing. I'll make another video on how to mix. But this is just how to make a song. First of all, you'll learn how to mix some other time. But you need to you need to find two sounds that complement each other. That's what you need in the basis of a song. You know, you find that one song that triggers the rest of it. The first sound, this, and then something that complements it. Kind of like harmonizes two sounds, two different notes maybe. It can be the same note. Like this is B. First note on that's B, and this one is B as well. So same notes, and then I switch it up to G, and this one's still B here. So together it kind of harmonizes. Here that's like Okay, so harmonizing in the second sound. Still just working on the bass line. That's all we had, and then the next bit is when the melody starts coming into play. Very simple. Very simple. Don't overcomplicate beats at all, especially in this type of genre. Another big thing. Find out your fucking genre. You don't want to be making music and you don't know what genre you want to do. Usually something you listen to a lot. I mean, my stuff is sort of different to what I listen to. I still listen to this sort of music, but not mainly. It's just how music comes to me. But anyway, you want to find a really simple. These are all Serum. All the sounds are from the plugin Serum. And then this is you want to create something catchy, you know. That's so memorable. Bum bum bum. So easy to remember. And then that's sound selection. I'm gonna keep stressing. Sound selection is fucking important. So all of them together sound like this. Now I could have, in the second part of this, gone. And then back down. I could have done that. It sounds good. I chose not to. It's personal preference. Creativity is a very hard thing to explain. So I did that. And then I needed to do another thing. A counter melody. We'll call it that. There's a few counter melodies, but we'll call this one a counter melody. What you want to do with this is it again complement the first melody. So these two are complementing each other. And these two are complementing each other. In fact, that's not even the right one. This one. We'll go with this one. These two need to complement each other. And then there's two other melodies after. I'll explain that. This one is it's again more harmonizing. Trust your intuition. You know, put shit everywhere. And find out what works. Obviously, after a certain amount of time, don't worry about your beats being shit at first. Don't let that affect you, because if you don't want to go through the effort, then you shouldn't be a musician. But I just pitched this one up. These were all the same at one point. Then I pitched that one up. It's just a bit of variety, you know. It doesn't get boring. It's simple, keeping it simple, but it's not boring. And that's what you want. Okay. The next thing. Oops, don't do that. The second thing I did, the third thing for the melodies, is this. Now, in the song, you can't really hear that. If I play this together. Okay, maybe you can. But it's not something that strikes you, you know. It's not something you think about when you hear the song. You're mostly thinking about this. That's what you want in a song. You wanna focus on one part. And if you have more than 5 sounds, it's gonna be hard. You shouldn't be doing more than 5 sounds. To begin with, only use one. I started with piano. 3 years ago, I started producing. All I did was piano. FL keys. It comes with FL. Use FL, don't use anything else. You can switch to a different software later on. But I use FL keys right here. Just a normal piano. But very, very good thing to start with. Drill or trap I would start with as well, because they're very simple to make. But I've moved away from this sort of stuff now. But this, again, releasing 29th of July. Okay, so I made this because the other things were very slow. You know, it feels like you're walking. You want to start, but you want to get people bouncing and running, you know, and dancing. If you're in a fucking club and it starts playing, people are slow dancing, you're a fucking retard. Don't make songs like that, because, you know, people aren't gonna buy that. No offense, but so together it sounds like this. Again, I did exactly what I did, the same as what I did with this, but on a different scale. I just pitch stuff up, control up or down. So yeah, it's like it goes backwards and forth. You know, it's question and answer. That's what you want in music. The first part, you're asking a question. What? Yes. You know, you get what I mean? It answers the first bit. It follows the first bit. If you don't get that, what do you call it, example or analogy, you need to, because that is basically all of music. The first bit is a question to the second bit. You can hear it. I don't know how to explain it, but you can hear it, You can hear it. And then the last thing I added was this. Now that is what people are going to remember. If you choose anything for that people remember. Again, I just basically repeated this and pitched it up. I mean, I didn't actually pitch it up. I did start up here. Because what I found with music, when you're asking the question, you need to go higher pitch. Usually, you go up. You can go down. It's quite unusual, but you go up when you're answering something, especially with minor. What? Yes. It's an example. It's very hard to put into words, but there we go. It's just a straight line down, and that's what people are going to remember. The slow bit, the fast-paced bit, which is a background noise, and then the thing that people are going to hook onto and remember and play over and over again. Now, see, this is what it's harmonizing, and it's not going on the wrong notes. Make sure you're in the fucking key. As I said, go up here, view, scale highlighting, choose your scale, choose your note, and stick to these white notes. Also, don't ever, if I can show an example here. What's a good example of this? Put this here. As you can see, if I put these up, these aren't playing notes next to each other. They're not. If this was like this, it would sound shit. Doesn't sound good, does it? So don't play notes right next to each other. You don't want to do that. There's exceptions, but don't do it. Okay, so the whole intro altogether sounds like this. And you want to structure it in twos, basically. So you see how there's a question and an answer. As soon as that first answer's done, you're going to change it. You want to do it. So here's the first part. Shitty. Oh my god. Here's the first part. Here. And here's the second part. Now you're gonna basically use the same sounds over and over again. You're gonna copy and paste it like this over to the next bit. But then you gotta change it. So I thought, what changes here? We don't have this bit yet. So I did that in. And then I added the original bass line. Not this one. I added the original one, where it's just one note. And then I dropped this heavy bass line, because the drums came in. And now this is where we're going to talk about the drums. When your drums start, you don't want to reveal the whole thing, because we got a bass line over here, and I'll explain that later. But this is the 808, the bass, like the boom, boom, boom. But you want to use the light drums to begin with you and introduce it. So first part, second part, and then you repeat it. But then you add the drums in and take out all the heavy parts of the melody or the chords, because you can feel it's getting ready to do something. You've reduced the level. You've reduced the build up, so you know it's gonna drop at some point. So here's what the drums sound like. Again, very, very simple. So, as a beginner, all you want to do is do a clap on every once a bar. I think that's the right terminology. Don't even learn music terminology. You don't need it. But you can hear this. If you need help knowing where to place it, I mean, first of all, you can come here and just do it. This is the channel rack, and then you can piano roll like this. You can go in there, so you can see all the notes, and you can pitch it up and down. You get the idea. But turn on the metronome up here. That will help you keep in time. So 150 tempo. That's simple, right? Everyone can do that. You just go boom, boom. Turn all the velocity all up. So highlight them. Control drag or Alt A. No shit. Control A. Yeah, Control A. Control A, and then you just want to hold Shift. I'm being so special right now. You want to hold Alt and drag your mouse up and down. So you've selected all of them. Alt drag up and down. Put them right at the top. It helps you know where to start every time when you're making a song. You know how loud it is. So if you always do it there, you're gonna know how loud your whole track is. And then I added in the hi-hats. And the thing with hi-hats is, if you're beginning again, just go here, right click on your hi-hat, and do fill each 2-step. That's basic, That's basic as fuck. But here, I did, it kind of sounds like a little bit yeet, not gonna lie. But I did because he does like the he does the triplets. So I was like, this sounds like that. What drums can I add? Sounds like yeet a little bit. So he does that. As you notice, these are pitched down a whole octave. Control down, pitch it down. It fit the vibe, It's very heavy, this song. You got the bass line. It just fits. You know what your end goal is. You know what the mood you want it to be, yeah? Make it to that. If you're making a melody and you're thinking this is dark, do what you think is right. Do what you know will make it sound like your goal. You don't need to know what you want to make. You want to know what genre you're going to make. You don't need to know what mood you want it to be, though. Just start making, and you can feel it, You can feel what you want to do. Anyway, hi-hats. And then I did the kick. This is where the bounce comes in the most. There's snares and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. So, what I did with the kick is like, you hear songs, you listen to music every day, and it bounces, it gets you dancing, and that's your aim. You want to make people enjoy themselves as much as possible. So I thought, what can do that? If you do it around the clap, this is where it's going to bounce the most. See here? If I go in here and do there you go. If I go here, you can see I've put the kicks around the clap. It makes it bounce. Don't ask me why. That's how people's brains work. It makes it bounce. It's so easy to dance to, even without the melody or anything. Now, this is something a bit more advanced. You don't need to know about that. Just keep it so simple. If you wanna go even more simple, that's again fine, There's many different ways you can do it. The kick is very heavy in this song, but this is. I use 3 sounds to make the drums. This is what it sounds like. And then comes the 808. Now we're going to go to the end for this, because it doesn't all play together until the end. So this is what the 808 sounds like. Simple again. Except for the little roll. We call these rolls when you repeat notes in a short amount of time. This is where G6 came in. You know the song G6? Fucking old banger song. I don't know. Some of you might be too young. Some of you might be 17 my age. You're going to know the song. It's fucking banger, 2000 song. But you know, if you've heard G6, you know. Go and search. If you don't know G6, go and search it right now. And then come back. But that has the best bass line ever. It's such a good bass line. And I was like, fuck. That fits the vibe really well. Take inspiration. It doesn't matter where you get it from, who it is. Take fucking inspiration. So, yeah. That's what I was aiming for. You want it to be along with the kick. So if you see the kick plays, make the 808, the bass, before you do the kick. Because it's, you know what the, because with kicks, it's one note. With 808s, you're pitching it up and down and that. Again, 808s over here, right click, piano roll, and you'll get this. So it plays at the same time as the kick. Now you can add other stuff in. You know, you could do this. You could do that. So if you hear it with the clap. That's up to you. But I didn't do that. Missed one. There you go. I kept it simple. Simple again. Always simple. Okay. So it plays with the 808 and the kick. And then we introduce the snare, which is this. So every clap I added a snare. You don't have to do that. I don't usually do that. But you, again, don't play it with the kick. Make sure the snare is not playing at the same time as the kick. If I can show an example. I probably haven't done it in this, to be fair. Yeah, it's not playing at the same time. That's good. So don't play it with the kick. To begin with, there's exceptions again. There's always exceptions in music. There's not really rules in music, but this is how you learn. So I added the snare, and it gives it even more bounce. So if you hear it with a kick, now actually there is an example. I played the kick and the snare at the same time with the kick here. So the clap and the snare and the kick are playing. Usually you don't do that in trap. But again, there's exceptions. I would say don't do that to begin with, because there's mixing and, you know, level and EQ problems. If you know what any of that means, you'll understand. But kick, clap, snare. It gives it bounce. That makes you want to fucking dance without even the melody playing. And then you add in the bass. Now, the bass is very loud. I would say don't put the bass this loud. We're not talking about mixing, but, you know, I said G6 vibes, so I made fucking G6 vibes. And it's one of the main elements of the song. But I'm not going to play all of it, play some of it because it is releasing soon, July 29th. So. Subscribe. You'll get notified. Before I finish, I switched it up at the end. If you have one of these and you want to change some but not affect both of these, go here, click make unique, and then you can go into here, double click, and then you can change stuff without changing the original one. So as you see, these are numbered. This is number 2, this is number 8. I've got 8 different versions of the sound, but anyway, this is what it sounds like at the end. I just changed it up at the end. It gives it, like, it makes people want to come back and listen, basically, because that's so important. It's right at the end of the song. So that is how you start making beats in 2023. If you do obviously like the video, make a fucking account and like the video. Subscribe if you want more tutorials. Discord is in the link. The link's in the description. If you wanna, we have loads of packs, plugins, chats. You can meet artists, meet producers, anything music. Really good. There's an AI section as well if you want to use AI. But I'll see you around. Subscribe.